个东西属于我觉得不知道算不算服务业啊？这个东西现在没有什么称谓，但是应该也算是服务业，就比如说中国人花这点时间为美国人提供了服务，可以是这样理解。因为在美国的时候觉得，就比如说吃一份盒饭啊，或者去理发的话，如果折算成就是实际的价值的话，都要比中国高出8倍左右，就是说人民币和美元的比例来说。但是这个东西，中国的盒饭又不可能说传送到美国去卖的，或者说中国的劳动力也不可能按照现在也不可能说转移到美国去，不然也很赚钱。但是我突然发现，通过网络可以，如果是卖游戏装备的话，就是等于说是把中国的劳动力转移到了美国，变相的，然后就非常欣喜啊！当时发现这个东西的时候，而且那个时候真的非常早吧，应该说几乎没有中国人想到过这个，或者说他们想到了，他们也没有可能去做的。我每天都会在上面放很多 auction 上去，然后我每天做的事情就是登一些 list 一些东西，然后会有很多客户会买了以后，他们就会给我发 email， 然后我每天都要查这些 email。
I don't actually remember how I first met Tito, but when I was buying Adina online, I don't actually think that it was him I first spoke with. I think it was somebody in the room, because when I remember one of my first conversations was with somebody who described what they were doing, but I never got a name. But it didn't seem that the person sometimes was the same person as the last person I had bought from, which at the time I came to believe that it was a group or a room full of people. You know, they told me it was a business they were doing. That was in the beginning. I didn't actually identify Tietao until we actually had started the business. The first time that we actually talked about doing any kind of business was he had told me that he could no longer sell Adina. Now, I had sent a couple people his way that were willing to buy it, and he said he no longer had a valid PayPal address. So we started talking about how it was actually being sold and what he actually had to go through to get it, that China monitored the PayPal addresses, and he had to have a PayPal address that was outside of China to get paid, that way he could do it. They were restricting a lot of the access. So that's when I came upon, well, why don't you use mine? You know, I'll help you with it. And so that's how we touched base on that. We set up the business so that he would use a PayPal account that I had started. I had very little activity on it, so it wasn't really anything. I didn't get any cash, and I wasn't really looking for any monetary rewards, but he did offer some in-game Adina for Lineage. So that, at the time, you know, I didn't mind helping him out. And, to me, it just seemed like that's all he needed was a little bit of help. And so he had offered me, hey, if you help me out, I'll give you some, Adina. And that was the game that I was playing at the time. So that was fine with me. I just took I think it was 10 million every month. So, and I didn't have to buy it. It was free. And he offered it to me. So, like any player, I'm sure you're going to find, when you offer them free Adina, they're going to take it, A lot of people wouldn't mind spending money for things in game because when you're playing it, it seems real. It's something that helps your character out. It's something that gets you farther along. So it has just as much weight as, I guess, as it says real items. If you had something in your hand, you've got something in the game. If you happen to play something that long, then it carries just as much weight in game as it does in real life for you if you're playing. You can interact literally 1,000 people online in a gaming setting just by sitting at your computer. You don't have to go out and meet anybody. You don't have to travel anywhere. You just actually log in, and there's 1,000 people that you can talk to. And I think that right there is an attractive aspect. You can talk to people from Italy, from Sweden, from Holland, Netherlands, Japan, Korea, Mexico, Canada, all in the same village. Say, hey, how's the weather in your part of the world?
后跟铁哥认识也是属于比较偶然的机会，也就是因为这冒险岛这个游戏，然后经朋友介绍到他那边，他是一直开工作室的那个，他也想试试看这个游戏是不是能够赚钱，然后我朋友就把我介绍到他那边去。铁哥又是因为人手不够，又招了一批人，然后大家反正都是年轻人了，好多人在一起玩，都是觉得很开心，而且玩游戏这本来就是从来没想到过玩游戏还能赚钱，这也是属于大家在一起又是玩呢，又是反正都比较愉快，大家都是以兄弟相处那种。玩游戏成就感，那就要说起我们那个山区那个号的。山区那个账号一开始也是铁哥叫我们玩的，因为当时游戏做的还不错，然后铁哥就说了，不能光玩游戏，光打钱太枯燥了，然后我们要么就玩一个全区最强的号，然后我们就商量一下，觉得战士里面龙骑这个职业是所有职业不能比的那个，属于任何都是比较厉害的那种角色。然后就是最后商量了一下，有4个人专门打山区，确实有一段时间确实很强，强到就是全区第一，人家每次看到都是 Oh my God， 这是个疯子，玩这么高级别这么高，都是这样，反正都是很敬仰的那种感觉。
以前做的是拉链工作，区别就是轻松，到这里包吃包住的都好一点，在那边嘛就是不包吃不包住嘛，工资也没有这个高吧，收入700至800左右，就是自己嘛能花多少拿一点出来，剩下的就寄回家。工作就是早上嘛就是8点钟就要准时上班，8点钟嘛上班就是吃中饭之类的，就是晚上嘛8点钟可以下班了，一天就是这么过去了。困难就是主要就是不懂，因为它那上面全是英文。至于主要就是靠记忆，就是你每到那地图上做的任务之类的，就是靠自己来记下来。
Became an online merchant as an excuse to keep playing the game that I was already playing, which was Ultima Online. I had written about the real estate market, the virtual real estate market in a game called Ultima Online, and I became sort of addicted to the game in the course of writing about it, and I needed an excuse to keep playing, so I said to myself, well, why don't I invent this project for myself, this experiment, where I will try to make a living selling things from this game that I'm already playing and document it on a blog. So I spent a year in that attempt, and it was maybe more educational than profitable, let's say. But by the end of it, I was
well on my way to earning a decent living. In the last month, I made $3,900 profit. I was making more profit every month, so if I'd stuck with it, I would probably be making more money now than I am. Even though I began to hear more and more from World of Warcraft players about the existence of these gold farms in China, I still doubted somewhat that they actually did exist. In some ways, because it's too perfect, you know. It's the ultimate commodification, industrialization of an activity that a lot of players already feel is very tedious and laborious and commodified, and about which they also feel a lot of ambivalence, you know, that they have the urge to buy these things, you know, to pay real money, yet they feel a little bit bad about doing it. They feel like maybe they're cheating a little bit, and you know, so it's perfect to invent these foreign parasites, if you will, that they can blame the whole thing on, and you know, hold up as an extreme of, you know, instrumentalization and industrialization to feel better about their own practice. So yeah, maybe they do a little RMT here and there, but at least they're not gold farmers. And of course, we're Americans. We're not Chinese. No Americans would do that. Well, perfect though it is as an urban legend, I discovered that in fact it's not an urban legend at all. It's just one of those facts of contemporary globalization, and you know, the nature of how economies are connected in this day and age.